MiniTool contacted me to demonstrate the features of the free version of the Partition Wizard software. So this is not a paid review, and I'm just going to demonstrate almost all the features that you can do with the free version. It's the longest video till date that I have ever produced. So I would request you to watch the entire video. Without further ado, let's get started. Once you open up the software, the interface is going to look like this. You can check the version that you're running by clicking on About, which is 12.1 I'm running, and probably you're going to be watching at a later time and a later version will be available. Let's check for updates, and if we check, there are no updates. Alright, on the top is the toolbar where you have different operations that you can perform. Some of them are in the paid version. The manual will give you all the details of all the operation you can see. Below the toolbar is the menu bar, so you can see what menus you have. On the left is the action panel. Each time you select a partition or a volume, the actions applicable will be visible. In the middle is the disk, the partition and the volume list, where you can see the partition name, the capacity, used, unused, file type and type. Either if you have an MBR disk, it will be primary or logical, and if you have a GPT disk, then all your partitions are going to be primary. Alright, and below the list is what is the disk map. The disk map shows you all the disks that you have in the system. As you can see, for the purposes of this system demonstration, I have included 5 disks, out of which 3 are MBR, disk 1, disk 2 and disk 3, and disk 4 and disk 5 are GPT. So almost all the operations I'm going to show you. Now I'm going to demonstrate a feature that you guys might run into that I mentioned earlier, that MBR disk can have only maximum of 4 primary partitions. So by mistake, I set my logical partition as primary, and you will see the manifestation of my wrong decision. So I selected D and I set my partition as primary. So this is good, it will apply it, and now I have 4 primary partitions. Now the limitation of an MBR disk is that it can have a maximum of 4 primary partitions. If you have 4 primary partitions, then you cannot have any more further either primary or logical partitions. If you want to create more partitions, then what you need to do is first you will have to convert one of those primary partitions into a logical partition, and then create further any number of logical partitions. So you can see I created 4 primary partitions, and if select D, click on split partition, it says MiniTool Partition Wizard free cannot split the specified partition, no free MBR slot. See, this is what I was trying to demonstrate. So it's either D or C. If I click on split partition, it cannot create any further partition. To remedy it, we will have to first convert the primary partition into a logical partition. So the best bet is to convert D to a logical partition. So I apply, now it's been applied and it's now a logical partition, as you can see. Now if I select on D and click on split partition, you see now we can split further partitions. Alright, so keep this in mind, guys. You can just have three primary partitions, and the rest of your partitions should be logical. That's the only caveat. So now I can split C or D or E or whatever you want. Okay. Now let's say you want to change the partition type of D. So you can select format partition, and the file system can be FAT32, XPAD, NTFS, ext234 and NX-swap. And the cluster size you can choose to any of your liking. However, the recommended is choose the default. So this time, since I'm on a Windows disk, I'm going to select FAT32. If I want to work with Linux, probably I'm going to select XPAD. And partition label I'm going to give as D:, click on OK. No, the invalid symbols are there, so I have to remove colon. So we click on OK, and now we have changed the partition type to FAT32. Now in the free version, we can convert the FAT32 back to NTFS. So click on convert partition to NTFS. From FAT32, it says it cannot convert because the volume is in use, so it will have to first dismount the volume and then mount it. All open handles will be invalid. So I click on yes, and has been forcibly dismounted and mounted again. and now my partition D is back to an NTFS partition. So you can change the partition type. Now let's create a partition. So we select this to an MBR and I click on create partition. Now I can select the partition as primary or logical. This feature is not available in the default version of Windows Disk Management. I can select the drive letter F for file system, any file system I choose, and the cluster size, any I choose. This primary or logical feature is not available, and now it also gives us the option of selecting where in the entire disk we want to place this partition. So I can drag the handle from the left, and I can place it from midway, or if I want, I can drag the handle from the right and keep this partition in the middle, in between the entire disk, and there's going to be unallocated space before and unallocated space after it. And partition label, I'm going to say it in between, and partition alignment, I'm going to say to MB. Please choose MB, do not use cylinder because that is deprecated, but still use MB. All right. And I clicked on cancel by mistake. So if I select this 4, which is a GPT disk, and select on create partition, the first difference you can see, we can only create primary partitions. You cannot have logical partitions on a GPT disk. This is one of the differences. If your disk size is more than 2 TB, then you are bound to use GPT partition type and not MBR. GPT is quick partitioning type and MBR is master boot record. This is way down the video, I'm saying it. Okay, you should have said it earlier. But and the rest of the features are the same, but a GPT disk can contain any number of partitions. It is not limited to 4 primary and any number of logical, and all the partitions are of type primary. To demonstrate that, I'm going to create various small partitions, and I'm going to queue all those operations, and I will apply them at one go. Now this is another feature I wanted to show you, where you do not have to select an operation and keep applying it. Yeah, although it is, in my personal opinion, it is the recommended way of doing it, so you can see in each step what you are doing. But since this is a GPT disk, I would just pile up these operations and apply it in one go to show you that yes, you can apply multiple operations in one go. So I'm not going to select 5. I'm going to create very small partitions, so 1 gigs, and this is just to show you like the same. This is just to show you that you can apply. But personally, I don't recommend doing this. Personally, since it's a matter of your hard disk and your partitions, I would prefer you do each operation at a time to see what you are achieving is in front of you. I mean, to see what you intended is what you are achieving. If there's something that doesn't look good, just undo. So if you take like 5 steps or 6 steps and you apply, and all of a sudden something goes wrong, then you will probably have a hard time backtracking. So the number of steps you take to apply, and then the harder you will have this, the harder you will be for you to backtrack. So as you can see, I created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 partitions, and I are GPT data partitions. All right. Now you can convert an MBR to a GPT disk and a GPT disk to an MBR disk. So I selected disk 2 and I select convert to a GPT disk. It says convert disk 2 to GPT, and if I click on apply and OK, apply, and I click on yes, then my MBR disk will be converted to a GPT disk. I can now, if I don't want a GPT disk, you can see it's a GPT disk. If I don't want a GPT disk, I can convert it back to an MBR disk. So it says convert GPT disk to MBR disk, and we will be back to where we started, back to MBR disk. Now let me rectify my mistake that I had made this J partition as FAT32. So I want all NTFS. Then an easy way of selecting it is select J and convert from FAT32 to NTFS. See, and there's also unallocated space there. You can use the entire disk space to create a single partition. You need not create multiple partitions. This is like a no-brainer, but I just wanted to show you. All right, so I selected disk 5, and with GPT disk I just have one entire partition. All right, now let me show you how we can copy a partition over from one disk to another disk. For that, I'm going to copy over a partition from a GPT disk to an MBR disk. sounds little adventurous, right? All right, to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to format this H partition as an NTFS partition, and I'm going to copy it over to another partition. So I selected H and I select as expat file system and click on OK, click on apply, and give confirmation, and now my H partition is an expat partition. Now I'm going to copy a non-OS partition over to from a GPT disk to an MBR disk. So it says, where do you want to create a copy? Select a disk and mark the position where you would like to create a copy of the selected partition. So let me select an MBR disk. So the MBR disk that I want to select is disk 2. So there are other disks that I can do, but I just want to show you, you can copy a partitions exactly, and this is very cool. I mean, you're copying it over from an GPT disk to an MBR disk. So the partition I'm going to select is disk 2 and select on next, and it says please enter the new partition size and specify the location of the selected partition. So you can change the partition size also, and you can change the location, but I'm going to keep it as the same. So I'm copying it from disk 4 to disk 2, and I'm going to create it as a primary partition, and this is grayed out because, so I'm going to click on OK and click on apply, and now it's going to apply the changes, and now you can see clearly that I have copied over a partition exactly from a GPT disk to an MBR disk and expat partition. How cool is that? Now that is really cool. Wipe your disk to remove any sensitive information if you're sharing your disk with somebody and you don't want that someone to read that data. So you can fill the disk with 0, 1, 0 and 1, or Department of Defense, and I'm just going to select 0. I mean, depending upon the size of your disk, it will take some time, and once your disk has been wiped out, then it will be turned into an unallocated space. So please remember, you will not be able to recover any data once you have wiped your disk. This is an irreversible operation, so be very sure about what you are doing. You will not be able to recover your data even with MiniTool partition data recovery. Let me say that. I mean, you will not be able to. It's just impossible. All right. So now we have applied all the changes successfully, and we have an unformatted disk. So because all these sectors have been overwritten with 1 or 0 or whatever, 1 and 0. Now if your OS gets corrupted, Partition Wizard can help you. So it can rebuild the MBR. Let's say if your master boot record gets corrupted, you can rebuild your MBR with Partition Wizard. Since my MBR is fine, I don't want to do it, so I undid it. Now the next operation is we want to set a label. You can set a label to the partition. I have selected game and click on apply, and I have applied the changes. All right, next, say I want to change the partition drive letter. Select Q. I'm going to click on OK and click on apply, and now I'm going to get Q as my drive letter. All right, if I want, I can hide the partition also. So I hid Q and click on apply, and now your partition will be hidden, and no one will be able to see your partition. So this is like if you have something very sensitive, like games or something other that you don't want to share with your mom and dad or something. All right, I mean, that's something you want to hide. Okay, basically, you get my point, right? I don't want to be very explicit about this, but you get my point. Okay, so it's hidden, okay, but it's still there, so nobody can access it, right? Other than you. All right, so if you're very brave and say, I don't care, my mom and dad and they don't care, and I'm gonna bring it back, so you can even do that. All right, so I see unhide partition, and you can select a new drive letter. So coming back, I select F again, and now your partition is again visible. Now there's align partition. We select a disk and we say align partition. The specified it says, okay, this does not need partition alignment. All right, now you can check file system for errors, or you can check and fix those errors. I'm just going to check it. Depending upon the size of your partition, it's going to take some time. Check and fix errors will take some time, so be careful, and I'm going to have to be patient. All right, so check file system is pretty good, so click on cancel there, and now what we can do is, now if you want, you can also explore the partition. You can see the system volume information, recycle bin, and it's just going to give you a tree display of all the files in your partition. All right, furthermore, what you can do is you can even use a surface test to check your disk for read and write errors. So if you select a partition and click on surface disk, then it's going to check the number of read errors and write errors in the partition, the number of blocks which gave read or write errors. Since our partition is good, it did not give any errors. But if let's say you have a disk where you see your file is being corrupted, you wrote something, you saved a file to your disk and now you to your partition, and now you're trying to read that file and you get a corrupted file, the first step is to use the surface test to see whether the blocks are good or not. Partition properties will give you all the information about the partition. I mean, this is so technical that I don't know. Dollar MFT, I don't know what my MSFT will be Microsoft, but MFT LCN, all right. So dollar MFT LCN, I don't know, but this is going to give you all the information about the section, the sectors plus cluster, sector file record. All right, I don't know what that means, but just for your information. Data recovery. I'm not going to cover this topic in this video. This is probably for a later version. I mean, a different video. So data recovery, it's there in the free version, but I'm not going to cover it right now. I'm just going to stick to creating partitions, and so I'm going to stop it, and we'll be coming back to click on change font and select a different font style and size. So if you have a preferred font and font style and font size, you can select that. I'm going to select some random font just to show you that it's changed. Looks good. Okay, so this is really deep technical information. Select a different language: French, German, Italian, Spanish, Japanese, Korean, German, or Deutsch, and it's going to restart, and all of them are das. Okay, something. All right, back to English again. Guys, that's I want to show you. Very long video, the longest video of my YouTube career as of now. So hopefully you like what you saw. Hopefully I could demonstrate almost all the features that the free version has to offer, and you could see that it's pretty cool. I mean, I've shown you the features that are available in the free version. Works well for me. I've demonstrated all the features, but do your own due diligence. Think about it, whether you need it. Free version is absolutely free. It'll be good for you. This is what I want to show you. That's what I want to show you. Hopefully you like what you saw, and if you like what you saw, please support me and please support my channel. The best way to support my channel is by sharing my video with your friends and hitting the like button or the thumbs up gently. So the more you share it with your friends, the more your friends will see my video, and the more you hit that like button, YouTube is going to share it with more and more people, and it's going to show it to more and more people, and people are going to benefit from all the operations that I've shown, the demonstration. I don't think there is this long video on YouTube about all the disk operations that are possible in the free version of MiniTool Partition Wizard. Thank you so much, guys, and if you want to see more technical and gaming videos like this, please subscribe, and if you want to get notified, please smash the bell icon too. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching such a long video. Take care. See you next time.